Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to my tutorial on an item sorter slash automated storeroom. This is a mock-up I have made of my storeroom. And there you go. Put stuff in. Storeroom. No, just kidding. What this is you place your items in this chest. You can place whatever items you use in your storeroom. Just randomly shift click them in there. I'm not going to do it yet. I actually started this video. This is take 2. So it is actually in the process. As you can see, there's nothing in here, but what I placed in here originally was 64 gold, 64 iron, and 64 coal. Now those items are in a minecart system down behind there. As you can see, we're up to 61 gold. This is not the fastest system, by the way. I prefer this way, but it's not the fastest. So that one's almost full. Okay, so we got that. And this one, it's already sorted all the iron, and it is starting on the coal. So this, okay, so it actually withheld 1. It's not 100% perfect. It does. This will actually, if I was to place more in there, it would probably do the extra one that it left. It may or may not keep one extra one. So I mean, you'll have a variance in what you put in, and usually just by 1, but usually it makes it up in the end. Excuse me. Okay, now this is the back side of it. Like I said, this one is utilizing a minecart system. What this is just a basic minecart going back and forth. This hopper is dispensing it into the storage cart, in which it's pulling out of the box. So once you put stuff in the box, it automatically pulls it into here. As the minecart goes back and forth, it places it in the minecart. That's the reason why it's a little bit slower, because this will actually only place 1 to 3 items at a time. So it basically it takes a little bit longer. So, but this is the basic system here. What I'm going to show you is how to make each one of these units. This is actually the second version I came up with. The first version originally took 2 wide, and they had to be separated by 1. So for each unit you had to have 3 places. I didn't like the idea of having to spread them out so far in like a survival world, because you know, you don't really want to build a huge storeroom where you had to walk forever to get to anything. Now this is another idea I came up with. It's basically the same idea, same concept. Now this uses a water system, which I had seen a few tutorials on how to use water systems for certain things, to move things around and everything. So I decided I'd go ahead and try that. Now this is actually a lot faster. It's not as unique. I like that idea over there just because the way it works. But this here, I'll show you real quick. We're actually going to place an even number of items. So we'll do 64 gold. And this is actually how you do it. You actually have to either go into your inventory and click it off the inventory screen, or you have to put it in your hand and press Q. We'll do the same. But you have to be facing the water, and you have to be right up there by it, or it won't work the same. So we're actually placing 64 of each item in there. Now let's see. And that didn't even work. Wow. How? You have to have redstone there. Why did my redstone disappear? And why are those not working? I think I found a glitch. Okay. Alright, so that light go off, so these are all there. These are all there. And these are almost all there. Okay, let's try that again. My redstone was missing. Now, I'm not sure what that was all about. Alright, I don't like the system just because of this. But, let's go there. There, as you can see the lights already started lighting up to the left there. Okay, it flows down, sucks it into the correct hopper. What we have here is we have that building up, and that building up. Okay. So that only takes a second, which this is a nicer way to do it. It is actually a lot faster. Yeah. It's a whole lot faster. So that light come on, so that one's done. See, that light just came on, so that one's done. Each one has 64. Perfect. Okay, now apparently there may be a bug with the redstone. And there's that extra coal. There may be a bug with the redstone because I actually built this. It was complete and working. And it shut itself off. Okay, because of that it kind of may make this a little bit longer. Okay, so we are actually going to try this again. Just to see how well it works. Okay, once again, that's adding. Okay, so in the end, this should actually have 64 of each one. Alright, now this system is basically the actual collection system into the box. It works exactly the same. It can be built in a survival world. Pretty easy. The only thing that you have to build that may be a little bit harder is you have to be able to go to the nether to build the comparators. Those actually use the nether quartz crystal. Yeah. So you have to be able to get that. So that will require a trip to the nether. But once you get to the nether, that's pretty easy to get. Now this system here, let me grab the, well, let me pull it out of here because this should actually be pretty close to done, if not done. Okay, let's go here. And like I said, it's not going to collect them all. We got 63, 64 in that one, and 64, and that's the extra one that I was talking about earlier. Now the gold will actually probably have an extra one this next time. That's where I said it kind of makes it up in the end. That's kind of how it does it. Alright, so now this one, since I didn't get to show you this before, We can just insert gold, iron, coal, call it good. As you can see, it starts taking it down. It is a lot slower, but I told you that, so I like it easier though, because I like to be able to throw my stuff in a box and move on. Okay, now, excuse me, we are actually going to build one of these. And I actually have a process that I come up with to build this. Here for the tutorial, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use, what is this, gray? Yeah, gray wool. These are going to be the blocks that we remove. Alright, so we'll put this one here. That one there. That one there. Okay. So what we have is, we'll go ahead and do it out. In the storeroom there that I did using the minecart system, I brought the boxes outside the wall so you could conceal everything. This, you can't actually put anything in here to conceal it, because if you do, the box won't open. You can put a half slab, but it's not really concealing it. So we're going to put an extra block to compensate for the extra hopper. Okay, and then we're going to put one here. Reason being is I'm going to kind of explain it how it works as it goes. Don't really care that much for the tutorials that they show you put this here, put that there, and they don't tell you why. I want to make sure everybody understands why. Damn mouse keeps double clicking everything. Okay, so you start off, you put the collecting hopper here. This one collects everything as far as the individual items. So when you build this hopper, what you're going to put in it is either, if you want this to collect the gold, you put the gold. If you want it to collect the iron, you put the iron, and so on. Now this block here makes it so you can actually face the hopper that way. With the hopper facing that way, it doesn't automatically put it into anything. It will hold it until something takes it out. This one here, this is the one that gets powered, so that when an item is placed in here, it causes it to power this one. This one will actually draw it out of there. In doing so, it draws it out of there and shifts it to this one. Now this one is kind of unnecessary, but it does bring the boxes out of the wall. And that's all this one does. It's just to transfer a little bit further out. Now this block, this one we're going to replace with the box. And now I put the blocks down initially so I could put these in, because you actually have to have another block to click it on. If I were to try to put the box down and then put this hopper in here, it would in turn just open the box. I don't know any other way around that. If you do, just post it in the comments. So that's why I went through that process of the blocks. And once again, this can actually be built down in the ground. Creative, it's only 3 blocks deep, and I have a tendency to fall through, so that's why I'm doing it above ground, but it can be built in the ground. Alright, now the purple blocks, we are going to use them. These are the blocks that I am going to keep. These are part of the actual machine itself. Okay, and see what we're going to do is we're going to go there. We'll put the 2 behind it, and then we're going to go 3 down, or 3 long. Alright, now this one we're actually going to go down. Now I always dig this out beforehand, because you need to get in here. And you do this right past here, so in line with the system. And you can take those 2 out and that one. Now this one here, I'm taking it out. I'm going to replace it with wool along with this one and this one, because these are actually part of the system itself. And then these 2 are 3. Oops. Dug down too deep. I love creative. Yeah, and my mouse is kind of screwy, so it doesn't help. Okay, now this requires 3 torches. So you have to have 3 torches. One there and one there. And I'll go through and explain these here in a second. Okay, and then we have the third one there. Okay, now try to keep this a little organized. I'm going to do this in order. Okay, we have to place a comparator going that way. That turns on the signal when that collects something. So that hopper will collect so much, and then it starts putting out a full signal. Okay, so we have to use the redstone. Get it down here. Now I've actually tried this going straight to the repeater. What it comes down to is, in order for it to actually work properly, you actually have to have a distance of 2 blocks there with redstone. Okay, and then we use the repeater. The repeater, what it does is, when it gets to this point, it picks up the signal, and then in turn gives you a full signal. That full signal comes through here, turns that torch off. Basics of redstone torches: they produce power, but if you power them from another source, it turns them off. So that's how that works. Now that current will carry through here to this repeater to power this block, which in turn powers that torch, turning it off. Now with that one on, it allows this one to come on. Now this one being powered makes it so that this hopper here, it will not draw anything, and it will not put anything out. So right now, this box here, or this hopper here, will not do anything. You can put it in there, nothing. It basically, it's just completely inactive. It is just another block. Okay, now in order to get that active, that's the one that we were just putting the coal in. In order to get that active, this one has to maintain a certain level. Okay, in order for this one to collect just one thing, and we'll use coal for this one. You see the light here turned on as it's saying that it's holding something. Okay, but yet there's no signal. You can see this is starting to light up. Once we get to a certain amount, this will actually carry on to here and turn powering that. Now this one here has to have a specific amount. Okay, you have to have one in each spot. Excuse me. The reason for that is because you don't want it to pick up anything but coal. Anything that goes in this hopper, should only be coal. That way it actually sorts the items. That's the whole idea behind this, is it each item has its own hopper that gets pulled into and sorts it into its very own box. Okay, so that's why we put them all the way across. Now in one of these slots, now I've tried it in a couple different ones, usually the end one. With the updates and everything, I seem to be having trouble with that. So I'm putting it in the first one. It seems to be working better. Now this one, for some reason, I'm short. Did I lose one? No. Oh. Oh well. So we'll just grab another one. Okay, so the exact number is, you have 17 in this one, and you have 18, 19, 20, 21. So you're, 21. So you're going to have 21 of each item initially to start the sorting system. So that's how that's going to work. Alright, now we need to get a couple more. Alright, we'll go ahead and do 64 so we have an even number. Okay, see now if I shift click any of these, I'm holding shift and clicking, nothing happens. But let's do half because it's going to fill it up. Let's say I put 32. Alright. Well, shoot, that didn't work. Do that. Okay, so it will actually collect into the first spot. In the first spot, it will take it down until that no longer has enough in it to produce the signal. Okay, so what that did is it turned this on, went through the system, activating this hopper until this one no longer could produce a signal. It can't produce a signal once you're down to the 21 with the 17 in the one spot. Everything was transferred through there and into the box. Now, like I said, you will have some lag. What it did is once it got down, there was one left in here, so it actually held it. Alright, so let's do this again. Okay. As you can see, it's building up. This is the fastest that it's going to do. So, but anyways, that's how you make it. Now, the good thing about this is it is only one wide. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 deep. So it can be built underground, above ground, and it makes it really universal. And also, it can be built in survival. None of the materials in building this are something that are very hard to get. The hardest thing to get is the nether quartz crystal. Just simple trip to the nether to build the comparators. Now hopefully by explaining it the way I did, you understand it. Like I said, I didn't want this to be too long, but apparently it's going to be a little bit longer than I thought. So that's how it works. So I hope that helped you out. If you have any questions, leave comments. If you have any ideas or improvements, feel free to go ahead and either comment them or give a video response showing your build. That way, others can see it, understand it. Alright, that's about it. Thank you very much.